Hello everyone. I wanted to place this trigger warning in front of all of my videos for this series because it has to do with teen suicide and the attempt of suicide in general. If this is something that is triggering to you, please enjoy one of my other series. This one can get pretty heavy due to the content. So I do want you guys to be aware of that. I also want you guys to know that you are loved, you are enough, and you matter. If you are ever feeling that way, in a suicidal way or depressed or something like that, please get out there and get help. It's not about pride. To just put that, you've got to put that away. If you are having a rough time, talk to somebody, talk to family, talk to a friend, talk to just a random stranger at the bus stop or something. You know, sometimes it's easier to get off your chest what you're feeling with someone you don't even know compared to someone that's family or friends, just because you don't have to worry about how they're going to think about you or anything like that. You gotta get those feelings out. I've got a couple of numbers here for those that may feel the way that they might be feeling. The purpose of this entire series is to bring awareness to teen suicide and suicide in general. So I do want to give you guys a couple of numbers. The first one, it's pretty simple. It's only 3 numbers. Call 988. If you feel that your needs won't be met from a regular hotline because you might be a member of the LGBTQ plus community, another number that you can call is 866-488-7386. Stay safe, love each other, and help those in need. The world is better with you in it. Thank you. Now enjoy the episode. Welcome back, everyone. Today we will be reading Chapter 10. So let's get into it. Chapter 10. I have this dream where both legs work and both arms work, and I don't have any scars on the outside. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed in dress blues, holding a pistol. Sunlight brightens the dust and ashes in my room and darkens all the places where I've nicked the walls and doors. The football rug, the one Mama Rush gave me when I made the team my freshman year, is folded neatly on my dresser so it won't get messy. I give it one last look before I turn back to what I'm doing. My fingers tingle as I lift the gun to my mouth. It tastes oily and dusty all at once as I close my lips on the cold gunmetal. But I can't. Not in the mouth. I'm shaking, but I lift the barrel to the side of my head. The tip digs into my skin. I'm thinking about how selfish I've been, how everyone's sick of me and mad at me. I'm thinking I don't have friends. I'm ashamed. I hate myself, and I hate my room and all the dust and ashes in places I didn't even know. Then I'm squeezing the trigger and looking at the dust and ashes and feeling my hand shake, and there's noise and fire and pain, and I'm falling, my broken head smashing into my pillow. You shouldn't go to school. JB hadn't shut up since I woke up 2 hours ago. The quieter I got, the noisier he got. You're talking really bad now. You can't do it. You'll run your stupid mouth or turn to stone when you're supposed to talk. I didn't have time to fight, so I ignored him. My hand and ankle felt all stiff from wearing the braces for the first time since I left Carter. My hair still felt damp from the shower, and my jeans felt too heavy and too tight. Were jeans okay? I mean, I'd been locked up in brain surgery hospitals for a year, and the only place I'd been since discharge was the palace. I wasn't really sure what to wear. A solid green shirt and jeans seemed safe enough for now, but the snap and zipper on the pants would be hard. Pragmatics. Even brain-damaged turtles knew better than to show up at school dressed like a geek. Geeks bit the head off of live chickens at carnivals. I read that somewhere about the word geek. Chicken heads. Just the thought was gross. Chicken heads? Oh, great. Load up on stupid things to say, why don't you? Why don't you think it would be a good idea to go back to your old school? Answers. I fought with my left sock, trying to pull it over my weak foot. The ankle wouldn't bend. Putting socks on one-handed was a real bitch. I was glad I wasn't a girl. I'd never be able to put on a bra. Bra, I muttered. Chicken heads. Harder in the real world, but I can do it. Get some answers. Bra. See? That's what you'll do. JB actually sounded nervous. March into the main hall at Central and yell, Bra! Chicken heads! It'll go over real well. No yelling about bras or chicken heads or geeks. I finally finished with the sock and started on the shoes. Then, I wondered why I was confronting the ghosts who had tried to kill me. Go to hell, I added, just to keep things straight between us. Bras, socks, hell. I needed to quit listening to him, but that was hard. He was so loud in my room I couldn't ignore him. Stay home. Even Mama Rush thinks you shouldn't go back to that place. Going. Both shoes were on. Dad would tie them. I refused to do Velcro for school. Stupid marks or not, I knew Velcro was just out. Don't talk about bras. Don't talk about anything. This is a bad idea, I'm warning you. School will be a disaster like you can't imagine. Bras, I echoed, even though I didn't want to. Imagine bras. The urge to shout, chicken heads, nearly overpowered me. The digital clock on my bedside table made a whispery noise as the numbers changed. I picked up my memory book. Hatch, Jersey. Time to go. But I would do something about the bra chicken head problem for sure. Oh, no, you do not have a nasty old sock sticking out of your mouth. Lisa made a noise somewhere between a laugh and a scream as she hurried down Central High's front steps. She was dressed in nice jeans and a Green Ranger's cheerleading shirt. I looked down at my own jeans. At least those were probably okay. She was right about the sock, too. It tasted pretty fuzzy, but it reminded me to be quiet. Dad had finally agreed just to drop me off. Per the instructions of the principal, I was arriving 1 hour late at 9 a.m., and I was supposed to meet my guidance counselor and go to class. As soon as Dad pulled away, I had fished the sock out of my backpack and shoved it where it would do the most good. But Lisa had yelled about the sock. Her hair was straightened, with little flipped-up curls at the bottom. I thought it was cute. I thought she was beautiful. I didn't expect her to be waiting, since I was there 1 hour late at 9 a.m. She reached me and snatched the now wet sock out of my mouth. Before I could say anything, she hurled it into the bushes and turned back around to point her finger in my face. No more socks. No more socks, I repeated. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be selfish anymore, and I don't wear a bra. I clamped my teeth on my tongue. It was coated with fuzz. Lisa only shook her head. I'm really glad about you not wearing women's underwear, but be quiet about bras and come on. Miss Winchell's waiting in the office. As we climbed the school's front stairs, she walked on my bad side and steadied my elbow. My memory book felt heavy in my right hand. I needed a new backpack or something. The book might be as bad as the sock, especially if somebody read it. Hatch, Jersey. I winced with each step, then winced as I realized I used to run up the front steps to Central, even skipped a few sometimes. Sweat beaded on my forehead just from the bad boy, good boy march I had to do now. There's a wheelchair entrance around the side by the gym, Lisa said as we finally made it up to the top. It might be easier. Like Velcro, I answered as I glanced at my shoes. Lisa looked down too, her head cocked to one side like she was thinking. Oh, I get it. She took my arm and steered me toward the main school doors. You thought people would laugh at the Velcro shoes. Yeah. She shrugged as we walked. Maybe they would have. I've got some easy laces at home. I'll bring them over after school since I don't have practice today. Easy laces? I tried to open the door for her, but it was heavy. Lisa waited while I yanked at it. Yeah, they're cool. Laces you don't have to tie. Kind of a compromise. I finally got the door open. She smiled at me as we walked inside, and my heart did a goofy dance because smiling made her even prettier, and she was going to bring me shoelaces. Shoelaces. She made me open my book and write down where the wheelchair entrance was. Then she made me write shoelaces, like I'd forget that. When I grinned, Lisa said, "Close up that notebook and come on. We're going to be late." The air inside was barely cooler than the air outside, and I caught a whiff of sour locker and bleach. The halls were empty, and I figured everyone was in class. Lisa and I walked past the main auditorium toward the office. A short, red-headed woman wearing a black dress was standing outside the office door. She looked all bunched up and nervous and dark, like she was going to a funeral. Shoelaces. I hoped that wasn't Miss Winchell. Jeez, I didn't need to think about funerals or shoelaces or bras or geeks or chicken heads. Lisa threw away my sock. Shoelaces. My backpack hurt my bad shoulder. I was still sweating, and my jeans were definitely too tight, and some funeral woman might be waiting for me. If Lisa hadn't been there, I would have wanted to go home even if JB laughed at me and made me tell him he was right after all. When we got to the office, the weird woman in the morning dress stuck out her head. "Hello, Jersey. I'm Alice Winchell, your helper for the day." Helper for the day? Helper? Funeral shoelaces. What the hell? I opened my mouth to say, "Oh, no way. No way." What came out was, "Chicken head bras." Alice Winchell stared at me. Lisa wrinkled up her nose. "You're a little worse in public, aren't you?" I wanted to bang my broken head on the concrete wall. Focus. Focus! Why didn't I remember to focus? After Big Larry, I swore I wouldn't forget. Focus. No forgetting. Not again. At that moment, the auditorium doors banged open. A roar of voices washed through the halls. Half the school was suddenly right there beside us, all around us. Did I have sweat on my lip? I wiped my face on my good arm really fast, just in case. Miss Winchell glanced at the crowd, then gave me a huge smile that reminded me of my dad when he was being all weird. "Sorry," she said. The junior-senior group ran a little over. Teachers filed by. All of them looked at me as they passed, then tried to act like they didn't. A lot of the students stared without bothering to hide it. I saw guys I recognized from the football team and the golf team. They were the ones in Green Ranger t-shirts, not looking at me. It was like they didn't want to see me. They were pretending me away like I pretended JB away. They didn't want me back in school with them. Did I used to walk like that, all fast and confident? I knew I did, but that didn't seem real. I shut my eyes and turned to the side so I wouldn't see anything either. Well, not as much. When I opened my eyes again, Todd went by with a very pretty dark-haired girl. Her head was down, and he had his arm around her shoulders. Who was she? I leaned toward them and squinted, took a step. Todd shot me a glare of pure fire and hate. I stepped back. Todd directed a wicked frown at Lisa. Then he and the girl moved on down the hall, kind of in a hurry. You're so self-centered. I bet you think I'm mad at you. The hallucination sentence ran through my head 4 times really fast, with the last word the sharpest. My book jerked in my hand like it wanted to pop open to the page where I wrote that down over and over again. Was Todd walking with the girl who said that to me? Was that girl Alana Arroyo? She looked like the picture. Did Alana really move away? Lisa said Alana moved away. Lisa? I called her name before I had time to be scared of what else I might say, trying to ask what was happening. It was an assembly. Lisa sounded embarrassed and annoyed. You know, to get people ready for you being here. Remind them not to ask you questions and stuff. I turned to face her. What? She pointed to the auditorium. The principal thought the crisis specialist should talk to everyone one more time today before you got here. An assembly? Crisis? About me? All the teachers staring, all the people in the hall gaping. It made a lot more sense now. I might as well have been on stage next to the specialists. They could have pointed and sighed and looked all serious and therapeutic like the doctors at the brain injury center. The geek is back. Will he bite the heads off live chickens? Miss Winchell was talking, but I couldn't hear her through the noise in my brain. The skin around all my stupid marks tightened. My teeth clenched. The hallway image blurred a little. But if it was the last thing I ever did, I wasn't going to cry. Lisa's hand brushed my good arm. It'll be okay, Jersey. I'll see you between classes and at lunch. Are you my helper too? The question fell out of my mouth, but it didn't sound mean. At least, I hoped it didn't. Sort of, I guess. Lisa's smile was a lot more real than anyone else's. Just a friend. Gotta go. She took off into the crowd and left me with Miss Winchell. I looked at the woman's bright red hair and dark black funeral dress, and I really, really, really wanted to go outside, dig through the bushes, and find my sock. As it turned out, the sock didn't matter. I was so busy trying to take notes and keep up with stuff in class that I didn't talk to Miss Winchell much. In between taking notes, I made lists of stuff I needed. 1. Get a better backpack. Bigger. 2. Get pencils that don't break so easy. 3. Maybe get pens. 4. Get a tape recorder. And I made lists of stuff I didn't need to say out loud. 1. I need a math tutor. 2. Do I even have to take math? 3. Did math suck this bad before? Asked Dad. 4. I think the earth science teacher hates me. 5. Miss Winchell has a pimple on her nose. 6. Miss Winchell shouldn't have nose pimples. Miss Winchell kept trying to look at what I was writing, so I covered it up with my bad arm. Then I made lists of stuff I kept saying out loud, so maybe I'd stop saying them out loud. 1. Winchell pimple. 2. Funeral. 3. Funeral pimple. 4. Geek. 5. Chicken. 6. Bra. 7. Chicken bra. 8. Helper. 9. You're so self-centered, I bet you think I'm mad at you. Focus. I had to focus, but it was hard. Winchell pimple. The next time I saw Lisa was at lunch. She was waiting for me at the side of the salad bar where everybody lined up for hot plates or the grill. When Miss Winchell stopped and stood beside us, Lisa gave her a Mama Rush look, sort of down the nose and out from under the eyebrows. Do you have to stay for lunch too? Yes, I'm supposed, but, Miss Winchell clasped her hands together. I suppose I can sit over there with the teachers as long as I can see Jersey. Lisa's "you do that" went unspoken, but it shouted out of her eyes. She pulled my memory book out of my hands, looped the dirty pen string round it, and tucked the pen into the binder before handing it to Miss Winchell. Keep this so it doesn't get food on it, okay? Miss Winchell looked upset, but she took the book, tucked it under her tray, turned back to the salad bar, and started piling up her plate with lettuce and fruit jello squares. You'd think you were some escaped convict, Lisa grumbled, tugging my elbow and urging me into the grill line. Hamburgers, okay? Sure. Why is she supposed to watch me? Lisa shrugged. Who knows? Maybe they think you'll fall down some steps and break your head and they'll get sued. My head's already broken. Do you think she'll read my book? What do you want on your hamburger, Jersey? And no, she won't read your book. Your handwriting's really bad anyway. Trust me. She wouldn't get much if she did read it. Handwriting. Do you think I'll need my book? Hamburger. No. But what if I... Don't talk about the book anymore, Jersey. Okay. So we talked about hamburgers and nothing much and lots of stuff except the book until Lisa put my plate beside hers on her tray and we left the grill line. As we rounded the salad bar, we came face to face with Todd, who was carrying a tray with 2 plates on it. Hot lunches. Barbecue on top of something that looked like cornbread but probably wasn't. Todd scowled at me, then Lisa. What are you doing with him? Lisa puffed up like she used to when she was little, her fists clenched. Helping, like you should be. I wondered if I should grab my hamburger before it ended up in Todd's face. Don't tell me what I should be doing. Todd's voice came out in a low growl. You know how I feel about this. Should I ask him why he hated me? Or about Alana Arroyo? He was standing right here. I could ask. But Todd could throw food just as well as Lisa, and that barbecue looked hot and messy. Get on with yourself, then. Lisa gestured with her head, and when I looked out over her shoulder, I saw tables full of Green Ranger shirts alternating with the pinks and yellows and whites of girl clothes. Pretty girl clothes. The jock tables. Some of the jock table jocks looked up. One of them stared at me and cringed. Did I know him? Oh, yeah. I used to sit there. Before. How could my life have sucked if I didn't take drugs? My parents weren't brother and sister. I didn't hear voices, and I sat at the jock tables with barbecue and pretty girls. I stared at the jocks and stared a little more. Neat hair, neat clothes, no stupid marks. I used to look like that. I used to be like that. I used to sit at those tables, golf, football, ROTC. I used to sit there like them, talk like them, laugh like them. Didn't I? Mama Rush and Lisa said I did my freshman year, but I got different my sophomore year. Neat, clothes, hair, before. Maybe I didn't sit there my sophomore year. Maybe I was too busy. Hair. Maybe I made everybody mad. Golf and football. Maybe I wasn't perfect enough anymore, or too perfect, or something. Loosen up a little. Mama Rush's gin voice ran through my head once, twice, while Todd and Lisa snarled at each other a couple more times. Finally, Todd stalked off. The girl he sat beside ran her fingers through her dark hair as he handed her the extra plate on his tray. Alana. It looked like Alana. In the picture. In my head. Alana from when I was perfect and busy and sat at the jock tables with a life that didn't suck. Alana moved away. Did she move away? I ground my teeth. Loosen up a little. How could I loosen up? I needed to tighten up. At least my mouth. Something. I had to tighten up to get better. Quit staring, Lisa whispered. I need to know some stuff from Todd, I whispered back. Can you get him to talk to me for 5 minutes? No. She took hold of my elbow again and led me across the cafeteria, past a clump of teachers, including Miss Winchell, in her funeral dress and her tray on top of my memory book. We walked straight to a long table full of gorgeous girls and 1 or 2 guys, the cheerleaders. Oh, God. Loosen up a little. If I had been carrying my own tray, which of course I couldn't, I would have dropped it. This was a bad idea. Come on, Lisa instructed, all but dragging me. It's only the junior varsity, and they're all my friends. Just keep eating and don't say anything. You'll be fine. The sheer number of horrible things that could pop out of my mouth, even full of food, made my heart thump hard on my ribs. Loosen, loosen, loosen. She almost had me to the table when I broke away. I need to go. Go. I nodded toward the restroom. Lisa gave one of her shrugs and nodded. She set her tray down between two girls with blonde hair and told one of them to scoot over. The girl did. Most of the table gazed up at me like they had been expecting this, like maybe they had all agreed to it beforehand. The geek can sit at our table if he doesn't bite off any chicken heads. Are his scars gross up close? How can we make him say stupid stuff we can repeat all over school? The cheerleaders were blurring. Lisa was biting into her hamburger. I took off for the bathroom and stayed there the rest of our short lunch period. I stayed there until Miss Winchell knocked and made me come out. We barely made it to the next class on time, and I didn't see Lisa anywhere. 6th period. Last class, last desk, in the corner. Why did she keep staring at me? The teacher was staring at me just like the civics teacher and the algebra teacher, staring at that freak. The freak with the scars and no pragmatics. I had no pragmatics. I wanted to hop up and down and make monkey noises. Yeah, stare at this, why don't you? If it hadn't been for Miss Winchell, I probably would have made monkey noises. Pragmatic monkey noises. Monkey, I said quietly. Pragmatic monkey. The teacher glared. She had white hair and big glasses, and she missed her mouth with her lipstick really bad, so her top lip looked like it was coming out of her nose, but she was staring at me. Pragmatic monkey. Jersey, Miss Winchell whispered. Shh. I opened my memory book and wrote pragmatic monkey 5 times as fast as I could. Some of the other kids glanced at us, but they turned back around. Noselip started talking about charity organizations. I tried to listen, and I opened my notebook on top of my memory book. I tried to take class notes in between writing pragmatic monkey every time I wanted to say it. My hand was cramping. My head felt heavy. Heavy. Pragmatic monkey naps. If I could just close my eyes. Miss Winchell nudged my shoulder. Stay awake, she murmured. Write notes in your class notebook, not that journal. My stomach growled. Kids looked around. Noselip stared another few seconds, then started talking again. I blinked, closed my eyes. Miss Winchell poked me. If I poked her back, it'd probably be suspected. I'd probably get suspended. Pragmatic monkey naps. I didn't poke her back. I didn't. But I wanted to. Her and all the rest of the class. Monkey naps. I had tried to talk to my old ROTC commander before this class, but he sort of dismissed me. Nothing much to say, Hatch. All his buttons shining, his false teeth shining, the sun shining as the drill team worked out behind him. And he told me I couldn't pass the physical to get back in uniform. But keep that chin up, you'll find another niche. The football coach was worse. How you doing, Hatch? He had slapped my back so hard I almost fell over. Come see me if you want to do towels and water. Monkey naps. Towels and water. Towels and water. Niche. I used to catch passes, but it was towels and water now. The golf coach had been gone over a year or so the winch told me. Even if he'd been there, I don't think I would have tried to talk to him. Towels and water. I saw a few teachers I remembered from freshman year, and they were nice, I guess. But they had stuff to do. I had stuff to do. Not towels and water, though. Monkey naps. I did need a monkey nap. Everything hurt. I felt like I'd walked 20 laps around the track instead of sitting in a desk for hours. How could sitting in a desk make me so tired? At Carter, I was used to half-hour therapy sessions separated by a lot of nothing, a lot of free time, I guess. Not 6 straight hours of books, teacher talk, towels and water, notes, nose-lip, Miss Winchell, the funeral lady, poking me, and worrying about how mad Lisa might be. 1. Nose-lip. 2. Nose-lip. 3. Nose-lip. 4. Nose-lip. 5. Nose-lip. When the last bell rang, I wanted to yell with relief, but I didn't have the energy. My stomach growled. Miss Winchell sighed, shook her head at me, and took off. Nose-lip followed her. Monkey naps. Thank God. With help from the notes in my memory book, I found the wheelchair exit, limped outside, and dragged myself around the side of the school, toward where Mom was supposed to pick me up. The car was already there. Thank you, thank you, thank you, I mumbled as I crammed my memory book under my bad arm and rested for a second. My stomach made freaky noises. Somebody giggled. I looked up. Lisa was standing right beside me. "Chicken," she said. Chicken clucked as she made sure my memory book was tucked tight under my bad arm. Her smile made me feel a lot better, like I had enough juice to get to the car after all. She dug around in her purse, then took out something wrapped in napkins and handed it to me. My hamburger. Cold now, but man, did it taste good when I took a huge bite. Lisa laughed again. "Don't you choke. Your parents would kill me." I tried to answer, but my mouth was full. I swallowed instead. "You're sitting with me tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the next day, or the day after. I won't give up, got that?" Between bites and chewing, I studied her face and nodded. The entire Rush family had problems with the word no, so I didn't bother trying to use it. Lisa walked me to the car and opened the front door for me. I climbed in awkwardly beside Mom, unwilling to surrender my hamburger. Lisa looked inside, saw Mom, and backed up in a hurry. Then she just sort of looked down, closed the door, and took off. Mom watched her go, but she didn't say anything. When Lisa disappeared into a crowd of people, Mom grimaced at the cold hamburger, but she still didn't say anything. She even held it while she helped me fasten my seatbelt and put my memory book in my lap. The minute I got the hamburger back, I took another huge bite. "Slow down," Mom said automatically as she pulled out of her parking spot. "Focus, remember? The speech therapist said..." "Small bites," I mumbled around hamburger, bun, and pickles. I'd heard small bites over and over again since I'd woken up and started eating for myself. Small bites. The speech therapist had never been this hungry, and I could eat without choking now, no problem. But I didn't want to be a big Larry, so I focused and took small bites. Small bites. Small bites. Why did Mom have to be so uptight? Small bites. Don't ask that. Focus. Small bites. Soon, small bites after small bites, the hamburger was gone and my stomach quit sounding so weird. "Did your day go okay?" Mom asked, keeping her eyes on the road. "Yeah, I guess." There was a long pause. Mom kept her gaze straight ahead. I'm proud of you for having the courage to go. Really proud of you, Jersey. Any problems with your classes?" "No." I stretched and yawned. "But they had a funeral woman and an assembly about me." "Not fun." Mom nodded. "The principal told us they were going to bring in the counselors one more time." "What did you say about a funeral woman?" I looked at her. Her face was still and blank, and her fingers went tap, tap, tap against the padded steering wheel cover. "The assembly? You knew?" My voice was louder than I intended. Selfish. Self-centered. I would make her look at me like I was Big Larry again. Mom said nothing. Her fingers stopped tapping. Doing my best to focus and turn down the volume, I asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" "We didn't... I guess we just didn't think about it, Jersey." Her expression never changed. Her fingers didn't start moving again. My face got hot. I knew my cheeks were turning red. My teeth clenched, but I refused to go off. No, Big Larry, not me. I was going to wear my braces and keep my mouth shut, and do what I learned at Carter, and since I left Carter. So I made myself relax by singing the alphabet in my head over and over again. Then I opened my memory book and started writing the alphabet. It was all I could think of to keep my mouth shut. Focus. Small bites. Mom and I rode the rest of the way home without talking. That's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week with Chapter 11.